So, hello, this is a short demonstration video of my Formanta Polivoks analog synthesizer. I will just go through the main components, parts, features, and demonstrate that and how they work. We'll start with the oscillators. I'm turning up oscillator 1 to the full, and we'll lower the volume a bit, which is here. This is the volume poti that works. I tuned it like 1 hour ago after warming it up for 1.5 hours, so it should be in tune so far. Second oscillator. What else? Let's switch through the waveforms. This button here, I had to replace it because the old one got broken inside. It was from plastic, and I chose the metal one, which is more sturdy, as the switch here takes some power to turn it. Okay, note that the filter is set on low pass and currently quite close. That's this one. This is the switch for the high pass filter. Here we have the resonance. Switching back to low pass. Okay, then now this is new to me, but I guess it's a contact cleaning thing. Or it's a, I don't know, quirk of the Polivoks, I don't know, but above 5 of resonance, it sounds like it drops out or loses contact with something. Maybe that's worth mentioning, but I guess 5 is enough to create those yelling, dirty, resonant filter sound. So much for the filter section. Let's bring first oscillator back in. and see yeah, let's mix two oscillator waves somehow together. Okay, then let's detune the second oscillator relatively to the first one. Okay, now the envelopes. We'll start with the amp envelope that's over there, if I remember correctly, but I guess that should be it. Sustain all the way down, release open a bit more, and a short decay. Release short, release on 0, decay turning up, and release to full. Okay, now the filter envelope. That's over here. Yeah, that's over here in case you didn't hear that. Oh, I forgot to use I will come to the modulator later after we went through the filter section, but then we can modulate the amp and the filter section. So, filter envelopes. Short attack, medium decay, full sustain, and short release. It's not active because you have to turn intensity up first. That's this one. Filter frequency all the way down. And modulation intensity up. I'll sustain. Okay, yeah, I'll put the sustain all the way down. Decay up. Let's open the amp release so that we can hear that. Oh yeah, and the filter release, of course. Filter envelope attack. sustain of the amp up so that we can hear it in more volume. Filter resonance playing a bit. Switching to high pass. Of course, and now my phone's ringing. We'll continue this in a second. Okay, so sorry for the break. Where did we stop? We stopped at the filter envelope, I guess. Okay, what else then we have? So we have the amp section covered, the filter section covered, the modulators. Yes, let's come to the modulators, which is actually the LFO. This is up here. Which right now shouldn't be hearable, I guess. So now we will turn down the resonance at first a bit. And what should we do? We'll modulate the filter frequency with the LFO. And switch through the LFO waves. Triangle wave, and now we'll check the speed of the LFO and the speed range. As you might notice, I don't know if it's usual or normal or not, but the first part of the POTI kind of doesn't really change the LFO speed. So next, the second part of the range of the POTI changes the speed, and towards the end you have to turn very carefully because it switches to fast, quite fast. So now the battery of the camera is finished, so I will change that. Here we are back again. Yeah, the LFO, I'll just do that once again and demonstrate the LFO range. That's the part I mean, where it kind of from the last in the upper range of 95% of the full range, it does a jump to the maximum LFO speed. I think it's worth mentioning. Yeah, what else? Oh yeah, the glissando, the glissando portamento, whatever you want to call it. And here you can choose if you want both oscillators affected or just one. Prefer having both, but I don't know, maybe you want to use that in some creative way, who cares. Oh, that's nice. That's the random now. Sounds like it's not completely random, but it is. Maybe it sometimes repeats the same pattern a few times. I don't know. So, what else? I guess that should be it. Of course, here you can set the overall tuning of the whole synthesizer. Switch off glissando. Turn down the resonance. And turn down the LFO here. Of course you can also modulate the amp section with the LFO. Let's take that away again. Okay. I'll put the detuning back so that they are like kind of the same frequency with both oscillators. Okay, the overall tuning is here. And that should be it, I guess. Let me we have here we have noise and external input. I think this is the noise thing. And there it has some, I don't know what it is, but it sounds like the LFO is affecting the noise. I'll turn down the oscillators at first, both. So now you can hear the noise, and there is this like, sounds like the trigger from the LFO. At least if I turn the LFO speed, it changes accordingly. Let's see if it changes depending on the LFO wave. Not really. This is maximum noise level. Yeah, so anyway, that's something that you should be aware of, that that the LFO, like the wave cycle, every time the LFO wave turns into a new cycle, it generates this click sound that is hearable as soon as you turn up the noise level. Oh, and of course noise gets affected by the filter envelope too, obviously. This is without the oscillator voices turned up, so this is now just sound that's being generated by a combination of noise and high resonance. So I hope that gave a at least a bit more detailed overview about the Polivoks than just a theoretical textual description or just pictures. In general, keep in mind that it's one last thing, and now we have it just because we're at the noise now. This is for the external input, which you can route from the back inside the Polivoks and use it as a source. To be honest, I couldn't test it. Right now I'm just assuming that it works, but at the output it only has those 5-pin plugs, and I only have one adapter from 5-pin plug to 6.5 jack cable. We'll show you this in a second after I'm finished with this part of the demonstration. So yeah, here in theory you can bring in the external input, which I would love to demonstrate, but as I said, if I do that, then I can't listen to the output because I have to use that adapter. Yeah. So right now there's nothing here. Okay. I'll show you also the tuning dials, I'll call them. It's like small screws. They are located below this plate, and they consist of three dials for each section. Section meaning for each voice. This is for the first voice, for the second voice respectively, and they consist of register, pitch, and shift controls. and those you can use to tune the Polivoks depending on how often you use it and how long are the breaks where you don't use it. Every now and then it needs kind of a bit retuning the oscillators because, you know, it's an old synthesizer, maybe almost 40 years old now. The capacitors are new, also I changed the capacitors on the boards inside, but nevertheless it still needs tuning, and it needs at least 30 minutes to warm up after you switch it on. So if you're anyway using it on a regular basis, I kind of would recommend to just keep it switched on if you can afford the power bills. Because then the chances are lower that you have to retune it in the close future. But for example, if you use it for 2 weeks and then it stands for 2 weeks, it can theoretically already be slightly out of tune. On the other hand, some tuning issues, depending on what range you play, can be compensated either by just retuning the second oscillator to the first one, or if you're really lazy and dirty and just need to sample single notes, you can always use the overall tune knob to set the desired frequency. Okay, so I hope I didn't forget anything. Oh, here's another switch that I almost forgot. It's about the LFO waveforms, and if they play, not the LFO, the envelope, the envelopes, if they just get triggered once or if they repeat themselves in a loop. That's the switch here. So if we go, let's put this back on. Looks more nice. Oh yeah, let's bring those up. Yeah, what do we have? It's the amp envelope, so let's do that a bit shorter so that it's obvious. Put this one down. Okay, as you see, or here, this is just one envelope for the amp triggered. And this should be triggering the envelope in a loop. Yeah, so if you put the decay shorter even and maybe let the release of the filter envelope and the filter decay a bit longer, then you can get this. And the shortest would be if you turn all the amp parameters down. This would be the shortest. This is like how it sounds when you loop an amp envelope curve that has all its settings ADSR set to 0. That's interesting. So obviously the release does not affect the length of the amp envelope in this case. Okay, so it doesn't. Anyway, okay, so that's that. I think now we have covered it all. I would just film the back of the thing and show you what's happening there, but so far that should be it for the main panel. Oh yeah, and in a sec we will I'll show you the switch for the where you can switch between local keyboard control and external MIDI input. Okay. Yeah, so these are the outputs. Here I just updated the connector, the power connector. The old one was it had a fixed cable hanging out, and it didn't look so safe, so I replaced that. Also, some mods replace those here with 6.5 jacks. I didn't do that yet. Maybe I will, but we'll see about that. This is the main audio output, mono of course, which has a simple adapter here. It's a 6.5 switch where it comes out, and from here it goes to the audio interface or wherever you want to plug it in. Yeah, that's it so far. I hope you received it well, and that's a detailed overview over what a Polivoks can do and what it sounds like. To summarize, it has its own behaviors. You shouldn't expect, for example, that every value change of a poti over the full range is behaving like linear, I would say. Like I mentioned with the LFO, it's possible that that there are jumps in values in the higher range, or with this noise thing having this clicks generated by the LFO cycle. Those are things that are, I guess it's just due to the fact that it's an old but soulful device, which has its own characteristics. Alright, thanks for watching, and maybe see you soon. Bye.